Hello there.
This is where the fun begins.
What's up guys, Unofficial Star Wars here. Hope you're all doing well, and in this video we are going to be discussing some new recent reveals and even teases for the potential possible future of Hayden Christensen within a galaxy far, far away. Of course, we're going to go ahead, we're going to break it all down for you guys, everything that we know and everything that we're anticipating, hop right on into it right now. Before we do though, however, grab that subscribe button if you haven't already, as we're discussing and covering all types of Star Wars related news, leaks, rumors, theories, and breakdowns here on the channel. So if you guys are into any of that, go ahead and grab that subscribe button today. In this video, we are going to be taking a quick read from Comic Book Resource or CBR.com. I'll have their article linked in the description down below for you guys to check out there, as well as an overall garnering source. As they read, Hayden Christensen was quite excited to explore the Clone Wars era Anakin in AHSOKA's Disney Plus show. So Hayden Christensen has received a lot of love after returning to play the chosen one of Anakin Skywalker in both the Obi-Wan Kenobi Disney Plus limited series and also being as a part of AHSOKA, whether that's in flashbacks, holograms, or even in the World Between Worlds. As excited as fans were to see him back as the character and back as the chosen one, Hayden Christensen was just as excited to explore the Clone Wars era Anakin as well. It's something that he's kind of glossed over with his time during the prequels. We have the Attack of the Clones end and kind of set things up for what the Clone Wars would really offer in that time span, and then they kind of time jump over the Clone Wars in the live action universe, of course, with the prequels, into kind of where it ends with Revenge of the Sith, and from there it's filled in with the animated show. So per the HollywoodReporter.com, a very reputable source out there, Hayden Christensen and Rosario Dawson took part in an Emmys for Your Consideration panel to discuss their work on the Ahsoka Disney Plus series. Christensen's return to that era of Anakin within the Clone Wars had really delighted many fans of the Star Wars The Clone Wars animated show, of course. It seemed inconceivable for many years that there would ever be a live-action version of Anakin and Ahsoka even together, let alone in flashbacks of the Clone Wars, and this delighted Christensen as well, of course. Hayden Christensen said that he was quite excited in getting to explore these Clone Wars era of Anakin. While the second installment within the prequel trilogy, as I had mentioned, Episode 2, Attack of the Clones, did indeed introduce the concept of the clones and the Clone Wars and saw them in action with the Jedi, the film was more about the beginning of the war, and as I had mentioned, kind of the way it ends with Yoda saying the Clone Wars has begun. And so, by the time Revenge of the Sith rolls around, Episode 3, the war is just about to come to its conclusion, as we learn, and Anakin was about to turn to the dark side. While the animated Clone Wars show fills in those gaps, Hayden Christensen seemed quite hopeful that he would be able to return to some form in that era, filling in the gap and being able to explore that within the realm of the Chosen One, and so, he finally got to do so. He recently also recounted that George Lucas had explained much of Anakin's backstory in the Clone Wars animated show as well to him, and how he would love to see a live-action version of it someday. As he says, "I remember thinking, wow, that sounds really cool. Would be really nice to see some of that," Christensen had said. Speaking on getting to bring that era to live action in Ahsoka as well, Hayden Christensen had also added, and quote, "To get our feet wet with that in live action was really just a real privilege," ending that quote right there. And even then, I think that, being a Star Wars fan, I have to have bigger implications and bigger theories to that one sentence simple quote of him saying just to get our feet wet within that kind of realm of things. I think implies so much more, and that there could even be possible potential plans to do so much more within a galaxy far, far away with more Clone Wars kind of content, whether it is flashbacks or they want to do an actual limited series on Disney Plus of live action Clone Wars, maybe doing unfinished arcs or kind of retelling those same stories. Even then, I think is something that a lot of fans would be honestly really happy with to see, come to fruition and really see come to life. Point being, though, however, just the way that he phrases getting our feet wet feels like that they fully aren't dived into it quite yet, as you might anticipate or even expect them to be. And so, even having more new reveals and teases for the possible potential future of the Chosen One, Anakin Skywalker, within a galaxy far, far away. I think really speaking more specifically onto the Ahsoka Disney Plus show. In preparation for returning as Anakin to the show, showrunner Dave Filoni had asked Hayden Christensen if he was was aware of the world between worlds, just the concept of it and what it is. A plane within the Force that essentially allows for time travel, as we learned from the Star Wars Rebels animated show. Hayden Christensen had answered with, in quotes, "Yeah, I do." I was just instantly really excited because it just creatively opens up a lot of different terms of what we could do with the character. Ending that quote right there. And so, as we see the Ahsoka show unfold with it, it very much does take this concept of the world between worlds and puts it on 10. They think they really use it to their full potential, and even then I think there's even more that they should and would be able to do with the world between worlds concept within live action, within the Ahsoka show. Ahsoka Disney Plus's season 2 probably, I think, is going to have the world between worlds have a much more bigger implication with that whole time travel aspects side of things, especially with having Sabine Wren and Ahsoka Tano trapped in another galaxy on the planet of Peridia. They're looking for a way to get back to their main Star Wars galaxy. So I think that having the world between worlds kind of as this time travel realm, being able to transport around the galaxy, even in the present time, I think is a very real implication and possibility we could see unfold with Ahsoka Season 2. And so, Hayden Christensen's return in the Ahsoka Disney Plus show is really much so vastly different than the Anakin that he had taken on in the Obi-Wan series. Very much so two different sides of the same character. In Obi-Wan Kenobi, Anakin has almost completely morphed into this concept of Darth Vader and really has become that character of Darth Vader. But a pivotal final showdown in that season finale has showed that there was still a small fragment of the person that he really once was, allowing his former mentor to have some semblance of closure when he insisted that he himself was the one that had killed his former Padawan, Anakin Skywalker, not Obi-Wan. His appearance in the Ahsoka show, though, however, on the flip side, had really required a completely different approach. Anakin, he goes through a lot in his life, and in the prequels, he's very emotional of a character, Hayden Christensen has said. But in this is a post-life version of the character, so he's aware of all of those different things that he's done, the good, the bad, and really all of it. But at the same time, he's not emotionally beholden to those things either, so we could kind of present just a slightly different slant on the character. Ending that quote right there. I think that just having Hayden talk so much about Star Wars and about the Ahsoka show especially, I think is really just a larger implication that he has some involvement with Ahsoka Season 2 here already, and not just there, but so many other Star Wars projects potentially possibly, by which I would love to hear all of your thoughts and opinions in the comments down below. What other projects do you guys think will have the Chosen One appear in a galaxy far, far away? Thanks so much for watching today's video. Of course, this has been Unofficial Star Wars. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Have a great one. May the Force be with you as always. Peace out.